What is up, everyone? We live? Yeah, I think we're live right now. Okay, happy spooky season, everybody. I am feeling good over here in my parts of Arizona. It's a nice overcast day, so a beautiful day for a lovely movie. I've got an awesome candle over there. You can't see it. I would have it over here, but A, I'm afraid it'll start a fire. B, yeah, it might throw off my lighting, and I don't want too much light on this mug. Just ghost face mug. So we are about at the end of spooky season, and I'm going to give it some time. I don't think anybody's here yet. So I'm going to give it a little bit of time. Oh, that's what I do. Well, I'm waiting for some people to, pull up. I've never really used the chat log. So yeah, I'm gonna wait a little bit to see if I see any viewers at first, but I guess you know what? Hell with it. A little intro. I want to say maybe 1997. My aunt had wanted to watch this movie with us at my grandparents' house. Now, my grandparents' house is still, I mean, like I grew up in that place basically, just a lot of memories there. And I remember watching in the front room. The front room had this door that was just open. It was open and the screen door was closed, but it's a screen door. So we were watching Scream on VHS. My aunt had seen it and she is just so excited to show this to us. And I'm about maybe we'll say 13 because Scream came out in December 96. So I probably saw it in 97. So I was probably 13. And it blew my mind. It scared me so bad that to this day, whenever I use a restroom, I always check behind the shower curtain because it scared me so bad. I love this movie. Never in my wildest dreams. What are we at now? 28 years later, that this would be a huge franchise. I mean, look at all the stuff behind me. My daughter made that amazing artwork back there for Ghostface. But when I was younger and people would ask me, oh, did you watch Scream? Did you like Scream? I'm like, yeah, I loved it. And people were like, that movie sucked. And I was like, are you insane? That movie's beautiful. And it's great to see nearly 3 decades later. Oh my God. But this movie is still thriving. And we're coming up on number 7 soon. The significance, the cultural impact that this movie had was just insane because horror was almost dead at this point in 96. Not dead, that's a little dramatic, but the slasher genre had been just done to death. We had seen nothing but Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees sequels over and over. I sound like a hypocrite now because I'm looking forward to Scream 7, but at this point, though, we are seeing Jason Goes to Hell. We've seen Jason Goes to Space. We've seen, Freddy Does Everything. And it was getting kind of stale at that point. Nobody really cared. There's nothing really new. I mean, we had some cool ideas out like Demon Knight in 95, but for the most part, people associated horror with just cheesy sequels, and that sucks. Kevin Williamson comes around, and just everything came together nicely with Wes Craven, Drew Barrymore, and everyone coming to the helm of this is just fantastic aligning of the stars because at first Wes didn't want to do it because he was trying to distance himself from the genre. And then some 10-year-old kid, I'll talk about this later on again since no one's watching right now, but some 10-year-old fan was like, your movies are getting soft, dude. Your stuff back in the day were way better. That was your better work. And so Wes was like, fuck you, kid. Sorry about that. F you, kid. I'm going to make movies great again. And the Kevin Williamson script had been brought up, talked about throughout Hollywood, and they'd wanted Wes originally. He didn't want to, but now he's in it. And it's just the rest is man, history in the best way possible. Again, Scream 1996, when even to this day asked, what is my favorite horror movie? I will say without a doubt, Scream. I will. Is it the scariest? No. Is it have the most original frights? I mean, it's got some good stuff, but I mean, we've seen other movies outdo it. I'm not taking away from it though, but this movie has wonderful scares. The way it mixed in comedy, especially at the end to have that relief after we've been terrified the whole time, was brilliant. Kevin Williamson wrote the script. Like, it's hard to write scripts. I've dabbled in it, but to make conversations sound so seamless the way that he does it with this cast here is incredible. biggest thing too is that throughout the commentary here that I'm going to be doing is meta. It's so self-aware, and Craven already had a little bit of experience with the new Nightmare, so he was kind of ready for it. But Kevin Williamson in this brilliant script paved the way for a wave of new slashes. Like I Know What You Did Last Summer, Valentine, the remake of My Bloody Valentine. It changed the way that horror was written because the audience, we got smarter, baby. All my friends here, I know you're smart and brilliant as hell. Kevin Williamson knew that and wrote this a different way to rope us in and to bring in a new audience, and god damn did he ever. So without ado, I'm about to start 1996 Scream, directed by Wes Craven, written by Kevin Williamson, and if you can't tell, I'm so goddamn excited. Let's press play now. All right. And I'm already gushing. There's no point during this film where you walk in and it's like, oh, I can fast forward, because I thought about that. I was like, I'm going to fast forward this movie here and there if I get bored. I can't with this movie. Every part is just brilliant. Okay, I'm waiting to put on my captions because I'm an old head and I need captions for everything now. Here we go. That beautiful Dimension logo. Here we go, fam. All right, starting the movie. We saw the logo. Here comes the scream. Ah! Unreal. We set just a pace already that doesn't let up. Drew Barrymore. Hello. So beautiful, so innocent, so blonde. That look was inspired by Michelle Pfeiffer in Scarface, if you didn't know. Also, throughout this movie, if you have any trivia for your boy, send it this way. I love to be tested. Maybe stuff I haven't learned, so throw it at your boy. So, this is the greatest intro in horror. There's no other intro that is better than this. People will say Ghost Ship, but that's just pure gore. Not to take away from the brilliance of it, but you cannot top the suspense, the creativeness. I mean, it really grabbed the hold of us and said, watch this shit. And we did. And I was so scared. Made me so frightened. And the way he uses this brilliant house, the vulnerability of Drew Barrymore. Foreshadowing right here, baby. That swing outside is a foreshadowing of how Casey is going to meet her demise later on. Now we have her in her cute outfit. She looks nice and cozy. Answering the phone again. Fun fact, caller ID tripled after this movie. So immediately, too, I never knew the term for it. I got to get to film school. But Wes loves in this opening sequence using what's called Dutch angles, where they're going sideways a lot. I remember I was watching this movie with an ex-girlfriend, and we were watching it, and in my admiration, just talking about how I love the angles because it created a sense of uneasiness. We're very, very, we want to be on point. And when we're off balance like that, it makes us queasy, not feeling like something's wrong. Masterful directing. And this looks like just some flirting right here. We are being lulled, people. We are being put into a little lullaby. And Wes is like, it's okay. We're not going to scare you too bad right here. He's lying because we're going to get scared right now. Pay attention to in this opening. I'm smiling so much, but look at the opening. There are so many doors and windows by design to make us frightened. All my friends that are joining, hi, hello. So pay attention to the TV too, how bright and blue it is. I'm going to pause it real quick because that line popped up. But that bright blue of the TV is on purpose because we used to see that back in the day. Us old heads that used to rent movies, that blue on the TV signified that we were about to start the movie. That blue right there is Wes Craven subtly telling the audience that we're going to start. And I'm going to rewind it just a little bit. We are at the 2-minute, 20-second mark. Drew is being all cutesy with her cordless phone. And here comes that famous line. Asked her, do you have a boyfriend? And she's like, no. You never told me your name. Why do you want to know my name? Because I want to know what I'm looking at. That close-up. Oh, babe. That close-up. And that, what did you say? That fear, oh my God, Drew Barrymore. What a performance. She should have got an Oscar for this. The panic and just disarray that she's in. And the whole time, who else did it was looking for Ghostface when she was looking outside initially. We had the lights on. I remember me and my cousins would constantly try to look to see if we could see him. Obviously, we didn't. We see the popcorn again that they make fun of in Scary Movie, which was the original title of the movie at first. Came out as Scary Movie. One of the Weinsteins, the Les Eber one, was saying, we like the title Scream. We like that Michael Jackson song. Bam. Dave, you're right, brother. It's just, oh, here we go too. But Dave, you're right, dude. No one expected her. This was a Janet Leigh like situation like they did in Psycho. She doesn't listen, asshole. No, you listen, you bitch. And that mean Dutch angle again. Oh, tell me, how scared were you when it went from cutesy flirting, that Mr. Roger Jackson, that menacing voice, he went from, do you have a boyfriend, to, listen, you little bitch. I mean, that switch, scary. It is so scary. She's a vulnerable teenage girl in this huge-ass house in the middle of nowhere. The thing you have to remember about these movies, people, is they don't know they're in a scary movie. This is frightening. And she's 17, alone, and this guy with this creepy voice has a plan for her, is watching her. Damn it. That's why I call my channel The Attic Review, because I like to be up top to watch scary movies. I don't like ground level shit. This can happen. To see what your insides look like. I mean, oh my God. When he dropped that line too, Roger Jackson is a menace. And the fact that the actors didn't meet him in person. So this was just interaction via telephone, and she's getting this conversation, and his voice is scary. Her fear here is so good. My friends, how scared were you during this part, man? Even now, I envy those who haven't seen this movie forever, or actually they've never seen it at all. To watch this for the first time again, it's got to be such a treat. Holy shit. And then she does that whole thing because, I mean, did you think this, that she was bluffing about the boyfriend? She's like, he's big and he plays football and I'll get the shit out of him. And then I was like, I mean, she's bullshitting. And then you see his silhouette in the background. Oh, you see a silhouette in the background, you're like, oh my God. And I love that reference. I'm shaking in my boots. Oh my God. His name wouldn't be, say it with me now, Steve, would it? Ah! Dog, Jeremy. You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? Oh man, has Jacqueline seen Scream? I mean, dude, this is just the movie, bro. Unbelievable. I get excited anytime I see that this movie is on. And we see Steve, and she's like, oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Man. And you see him too. When he's all like this, you see the guy looking that way towards the killer. And honestly, if you pay attention, I wasn't paying attention. I was talking to you guys. You see him, though. He's almost warning her that there's like two killers. Like, he's looking both ways. He's telling her that there's two killers. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. And poor Steve, he auditioned for the part of Billy. If y'all didn't know this, he auditioned for Billy, but didn't get the role, but they liked him. So they rewarded him to be the bloody Steve. And we go back to her hiding by that impossibly blue TV screen. And I remember watching this as a kid and just being so frightened and wanting to crawl into a corner myself. And I'm a trivia guy. I love questions. But in this situation, I bet you would get the ultimate just brain fart, dude. Like, oh my God. Pressure like that? I don't know. I like to think that I would be the final girl. I'd probably get gutted, man. Jesus. Steve's counting on you. And she looks so scared. And but every time I see the Michael Myers, it's scary. But that the MTV Movie Awards, they parodied this with Mike Myers, the actor, and it was so funny. But now the trick question here: who all fell for that? The name the killer in Friday the 13th. Hi, man. Hi, Nicole. Dave, which detail, bro? Oh, you fell for, dude. So this question is like everybody fell for that, dude. I remember watching this movie and like, and that's not fair. That was tricky the way he mentioned it. But Kevin Williamson said he was at a bar and won a round of drinks because he asked that question. Everybody was like, idiot. It's Jason. Wrong. Just like Casey Beckham, they were wrong. They all died that night. I'm totally kidding. That's not what happened. He just got a bunch of beer. Crazy guy. But Not so fortunate. We just watched Steve die. There's another edit where his guts come out more slow. It's very disturbing. It's oh god. And how surprising. Where are we at in the movie, my friends? We are at 8 minutes and 13 seconds. That's quite the kill. That is quite the kill right there. Those guts are everywhere. I don't know who did the special effects for this. You always want to say Savini just because you hear Friday the 13th, but obviously it wasn't him on this movie. Now we have Drew with another trick question of what door am I at? Because we didn't know it initially, but they're at both doors. Now, this is some creepy and scary shit right here. Excuse me, as soon as I get out that nasty burp, pardon me. Excuse me, 1,000 apologies. What door am I at? Now, they break through, we see where she's at, kind of. The back door, we're assuming. When she takes off to the kitchen to find a way out and somewhere else, watching that killer run to the front door, when I first saw it, and the first few times I saw it, didn't pay attention. I didn't realize she ran to the front door to go unlock it and let the other killer in. Did anybody else realize that? That he ran immediately to the door to go unlock it and let in the other killer. I don't know who was waiting at what door. I forgot this dude's name, but he has a good breakdown of it. But Drew, the whole time, and the way they're zoomed in on her, and she's backing up, we still assume she's in danger. Great work. Yeah, Dave, that part is brilliant, dude. It's even scarier now. This is where I say about real life situation. No lights or anything. Imagine being in your house. I pray this never happens, but seeing this, someone in a robe run past. I'm about to watch it right now at the 9-minute 47-second mark. He's just lurking around in a mask. I would piss my pants. I would piss your pants because that is just, oh my God. Hey, Aunt Carol, what's up? Yeah, I remember watching this movie with you and Aunt Acela at Grandma's house, and oh my God, still a favorite. I mean, you saw what it did to me. But look at this. We think she's going to be in the clear. And this is awesome because when the Ghostface turns around and gets punched, that's Wes Craven. Wes Craven's right there. He's the one that actually gets he takes that punch like a G. And this whole part is awesome. And if you notice, Drew Barrymore doesn't wear socks the entire time. She hates shoes. So this part is amazing. The running and her getting stabbed because we weren't expecting it. Second part about this is the MPAA said that this was too graphic and they wanted to cut. Wes Craven, that sly dog, said that, hey, baby, this is the only cut that we have of it. So they're like, fine. He lied. And he's like, I didn't know I couldn't do that. Dave, I do whatever I want. I'm just going to say that. Okay, Dave? Oh, see, and then she got the nut shot it. And judging by the sound of that, I still don't know who that was. Because since he's strangling, they say that that's more of a Billy thing. They say that Billy is more of the one to strangle people because he's more of a psycho. This part is very Halloween 2, where Jamie Lee Curtis was in the parking lot trying to scream for help, but she couldn't. Right here, same thing. I know we were all like, throw the phone, do something, but she just got her ass beat, got stabbed up, and when they pulled off another masterful part right here, is like you see her look of, I know you. Why are you doing this? You know, it's, oh my God, heartbreaking. They come into the house and just the music changes from very ominous and scary to panicky and just, I like to call this every parent's worst nightmares musical score. I like how the dad kept her from going and seeing the body of Steve. If you didn't notice that, very clever. He tried to keep her away from seeing that, and I can't imagine the heartbreak of hearing this. I'm going to cry, man. Don't judge me if I cry, but I mean, the mama hearing her baby, like, heartbreaking. And then here we go. We hear another Halloween reference. If you didn't catch that, I'm sure you all have eagle eyes as well and have seen this movie. Probably, maybe not as many times as I have, but the drive down to the Mackenzies. They said that in Halloween. So this scream is perfect. That mom, one second here. That scream, dude, could probably be heard for miles. Another thing, the other version that I watched has a slower close-up of Casey. Best opening 13 minutes in a horror film. I've got to say, best opening horror. And people will try to say Ghost Ship, and it's no disrespect to Ghost Ship. The rest of the movie sucked. I will be disrespectful there. But that opening is fire, but you cannot touch that opening. I'm sorry. The house, the script, the house itself. Oh, now we get into our damsel in distress, our final girl, Sidney Prescott. My top 3 final girls. What about you all? Who's your favorite final girl? Who do you think? I know Laurie Strode's up there. I still say Nancy from A Nightmare on Elm Street, but yeah, I mean, Sidney Mother effing Prescott. Amazing final girl. Clever how she has that door for doing her naughty things. But I get it, girl wants her privacy. She still respects her dad. Now, interesting. A couple things here. I'm going to pause it right quick. We are at 13 minutes, 48 seconds, real quick, just because Billy climbed in, speaking of A Nightmare on Elm Street, very reminiscent, and that was inspired from Nightmare on Elm Street that Wes Craven directed. And no surprise there, that he really resembles that hot-ass Johnny Depp. They do have a strong resemblance, this dirty version of him. But so, Skeet Ulrich he goes in just like Johnny Depp did in Nightmare on Elm Street. Now we have some crazy things going on. Pay attention to the dad's outfit. I'm pressing play again. The dad's wardrobe, that jacket and everything, we see him in that same outfit at the end, meaning this is all a ploy. Sure, Billy was looking for a little bit of that late night something nookie, but also they were there to kidnap old man Prescott, and they did. Another cool thing about that, the hair, yes, and Carol's that hair, that good greasy hair that he had in what was that movie with Jack Nicholson and Greg Kinnear, and they beat the shit out of Greg Kinnear. Sad part, but good movie. But he has the same greasy hair. Now, we have all the horror movie references. He's like, ooh, I was watching The Exorcist, made me think of you. Now, I'm sure you all know this, but I'm going to say this for live purposes. The background music. It is a different version of Don't Fear the Reaper. That is an indication that this guy is not who we think he is. Yeah, he's cute, but he's dangerous. There's something crazy about those eyes. He is sexy, but sexy is... Yeah, no, he is sexy. Yeah, I'm not going to deny that. But he's creepy. And we're supposed to feel that. We do feel that he just emulates creep. But we like it. And yeah, dude, he said he has that charm and appeal that we do. Like, he gets to get away with this because he's so good looking. Except he ain't getting into Sidney Prescott's pants. No panty rule in effect. No eating here tonight, you on a diet. Yeah, I said it. But the whole time, yeah, this is going on. Stu, and if you pay attention, Skeet Ulrich does not get enough credit for his little actions that he does throughout the movie that makes him seem creepier and that he's the killer, but you wouldn't know until you've seen the movie. The whole time he's with, the beautiful Sydney, his girlfriend, he's looking at the door. Now, we think it's because of the dad. It's not the dad coming in. He's making sure that Sydney doesn't know something's going foul while they're, getting all touchy-touchy in there. No hanky-panky. None. While the hanky-panky was kind of going on, yeah, man, freaking Mr. Prescott was getting snatched up. And I'm not going to lie. If any of you have seen the Scary Movie spoof of this, I love the scene that they make fun of this where, what's her face? Anna Faris, like, does that. It's a pair of old man chichis, nice and hairy, and just, ugh. And now it's forever made me think that that's what Neve Campbell's chest would look like. It ruined it forever, a goddamn movie. So we've established, although very sexy, he's creepy. And that's neat, though, because I'm not sure if a lot of people even noticed that Don't Fear the Reaper. And if you notice that, too, that was in Halloween as well when the girls were driving around. This movie is very heavy on... Sorry, they just showed the movie reference. Movie is very, very influenced by Halloween. Kevin Williamson loves that movie. Nothing wrong with it. See, I can't say that I picked up on a lot of this stuff the first time I watched it. I was only about 13. Excuse me. But from watching this over and over, it's just brilliant. Speaking of brilliance, we see Gale Weathers in that awesome power suit of hers that looks like a highlighter looking ass. Now we have that musical score. I always forget the composer, but that I can't really do it, but so impactful as we see that beautiful school and the school, and we see Linda Blair in the background as well from The Exorcist. We see her later on with actual lines, but she's already there. Things are going crazy at the school. Poor Sydney's like, what the F, mate? We've got Top Story covering it. And, oh, her best friend, Tatum Riley. Now, Tatum originally wanted to, she auditioned for the role of Sydney, but they gave her Tatum to counter Sydney's character because Tatum is a natural brunette, or Tatum, sorry. Oh my God, what's her name? Rose McGowan is a natural brunette. So for the movie, she went blonde to kind of counter Sydney's look. And she was supposed to be like very tomboyish, they were trying to do. And she's like, hell no. She left and got her own wardrobe, apparently. Which, I mean, yeah, she looked good. And so now we're finding out that they are familiar with these people. And she says that line of, yeah, Dewey, who we're assuming she knows, and it's law enforcement, it's like, this is the worst thing that's happened since it's bad. And we're like, what's bad, bitch? Tell us. Don't be leaving us on a cliffhanger like that. But it's good for suspense. Now, okay, quick pause, because we have a lot going on here. Casey Becker sat right next to Sydney. Did you all notice this? Casey sat next to Sydney in this class. That was not an accidental kill. Yes, it was Stu's ex. Maybe he was mad about that, but that was already sending her a message. This is hitting close to home. Does this remind you of anything a year later? Excuse me, sorry, that grape soda. But this was by design. I'm not sure if anybody else caught that, but this was already starting the mind games with her because she's going to class around the anniversary of her mother's death, and a classmate she hears is gutted horror movie style. Let's continue. We have something really fun coming up with this Nightmare on Elm Street reference. Okay. We see the Fonz. Hey, for those of you too young to get that, I was too young. Henry Winkler, the principal, was of Happy Days fame, where he was a bad boy. He had that badass cool hair. He had the tough leather jacket. He was cool. Like, he was almost an anti-hero. He was a tough guy, but he was like the bully against the bullies. He was a cool guy. I've never seen the show. I don't know what I'm talking about. But the other guy, the sheriff, where Deputy Riley works for, the sheriff here, he was in A Nightmare on Elm Street. Backstory to his character, that's the same actor. He was also a sheriff or a deputy in A Nightmare on Elm Street, with Nancy's dad being head dog over there. Backstory behind this is that after all that happened on Elm Street, he was so distraught by that he went and found a job at a small town. And then this happens like 20 years later. Cool backstory. I'm pressing play now. We are at 19 minutes. And we have she was the daughter of more of the, not pronoun game, but, just like messing with us. Freaking. I wanted to say stuff, but I forget I'm live. I can't say all the stuff I want to say. And Mr. Riley is not Dewey today. He is Deputy Riley. So you can already tell that he doesn't like how the town treats him. Ungrateful bastards. But that was creepy. I'm sorry. I never noticed that, the way he grabbed her chin like that. But it really isn't any malice. They do an interview, so we're discovering that the whole school, everybody's a suspect. So they're interviewing everybody, and we see the teenagers who are all in their mid-20s sitting at the... Sorry, I know we shouldn't make that joke, but it is. It's a running trope of older actors playing teenagers. Now, what a scene at the fountain. And look at Jamie Kennedy's shoes, those green-ass shoes. There's no way a girl could have killed him. Takes a man to do something like that. This whole area is fire. Because we have just unbelievable energy from Matthew Lillard, who is a force in this film. Jamie Kennedy, god damn it, why they kill him so early from Scream 2, but another unreal character. And then Billy just back there looking all sexified. But their chemistry right there between Billy and Stu, and like Stu is goofing around completely, like, ha 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 ha. You take a knife and you do this and leave her alone. And Billy's like, we just killed somebody last night. Chill the hell out. Did anybody notice that? Like Stu's treating it like a joke, and Billy's like, "This is kind of funny, but you're gonna get us caught. Stop it." I love this line about Randy getting fired from the movie store because I worked at Hollywood Video, but I didn't get fired. I worked there like twice though. Best job I ever had. Bring back video stores. But this, like, oh, I didn't kill anybody. Nobody said you did. Amazing chemistry between those two. Okay. Tell me something. Did you really put her liver in the mailbox? I heard that you put her meal next to her spleen and her pancreas. That energy from these two guys are just, they could bag that and sell it as cocaine, baby. You better live her alone. Get it? Live her alone. That energy, unreal. He gets good smack from Billy. It was a joke. I still make that joke to this day. Dave, bring back video stores left and right, man. Like days like this. Nice, overcast day, and it would be nice to scroll the horror section, special interest, or see the wall of new releases. Bring back those days. Sydney is at her bawling ass house. You guys, what do you guys think? What a house that she lives in. I love that little entranceway into it with the white picket fence, literally, and just the layers to her house. She's like on the backyard balcony, and you just see beautiful hilltops and just, what does her dad do for a living, that son of a bitch? Dave, shut the hell up. That's awesome, bro. Over at when I lived in Portland, they had a gym / video store. They were connected. It was amazing. Bring back video stores. There's still one more Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon. Now, Sydney's in her bawling ass house, and she's locking the door. This music is messing with us left and right. I think it was Dead Meat. He said it, and I like the way he said it, is that they never let the pressure off of Sydney, ever. As soon as she's introduced, she's in constant peril. Even right now, she opens up that door. The music messes with us because constant horror movie trope. Aha! Jump scare. Even though, at what point do you think the killer got in there? When did Stu get into that closet, do you think? Not like in the closet, but like what point in the closet he was just waiting for her? Because later on, we do hear a creak to confirm that somebody's in there. This part scares the piss out of me. They're watching the news at 23 minutes and 15 seconds, and she's going through the news. And when they talk about Maureen Prescott's murder and assault, and they show that picture of her, it scared the life out of me. I don't know why. And Carol, you're right. Hollywood Video was the absolute best. Now, I hate going into this, but like with Billy and Stu, they say that she was assaulted and murdered. Like, that just, I don't like that. Did they do that? I hope they didn't assault her. That's just, Now, we hear the creak. Not just from her neck. Like, Sydney has chronic neck pain in this movie the whole goddamn time. But she hears a creak, so she's like, hello? And that creak, though, I think it's safe to assume that the killer's in there at this point. Just when did he get in there? Now, I've done this. I did this last week. How many times have you all taken a midday power nap and woke up and the sun's down? Where the am I? Who am I? What's going on? She wakes up to that after her classmates are killed in the complete dark. No movie or news on or light on. No. She's in her ballin' ass house in that cozy gray sweater and white looking like Keds, maybe? I don't know. Maybe Keds weren't around back then. But what a sunset on those hills of California. What does her dad do again? Man, kill his ass with all that money. Should have got a ransom from him. So now we have it. Uh-oh. The phone call while she's waking up from her nappy nap. Of course, Tatum's like, she looks like the friend that would be constantly goddamn late. And she's like, oh, don't worry about it. Casey and Steve didn't get killed till past 10. What a bitch. That's not something to joke about. I mean, those girls that girl and couple just got killed. And did anybody watch, what was the name of that Tom Cruise movie? Does his penis really show? I'm asking for a friend, not me. I don't want to know that. But for real, though, anybody know? She's like, I'm going to swim by the video store. Tom Cruise in all the right moves. If you pause it just right, you can see his wee-wee. Now, is that true? And What's up with him and fish? Has anybody heard that shit lately? Anyways, so Tom Cruise, I'm not sure if his penis is showed in that movie, but they were talking about it. And now here comes the second phone call. Tatum, just get in the car. And here comes oh my god, I almost said the wrong name. Jackson, I almost said Randy Jackson, dog. No, Roger Jackson's voice comes back. Again, these actors never met Mr. Roger Jackson, and we hear the voice that is menacing, so menacing that there is a horror app that you can use because of this MFer's voice. She thinks it's Randy. Randy, you gave yourself away. But it's not Randy. but we have to take into account Scary Movie. She don't know that. She doesn't know that she has a target on her back and has since last year. What patience by those two, man. And it's hilarious because right now she is saying all the tropes. She's saying the tropes of what's the point of horror movies? They all just run upstairs. They do these stupid decisions. It's so unoriginal, blah, 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 blah. She's saying these tropes. And the funny part is they already showed it in the trailer, but we see in the movie, she doesn't have a choice. I love seeing horror movies with people where they're like, I would do this, I would do that. I doubt that, and I doubt that. No, you wouldn't, and no, you wouldn't. Some of you, I've seen you in pressure situations. No, you would not. And she had just talked that shit about, they're so dumb, they just go out the front door. She had no choice but to go up. Brilliant writing, again, by Mr. Kevin Williamson. Now the fun stuff. Who got scared off their ass and looked back and forth when he said, your front porch? And she's like, oh, yeah? He's like, yeah, that's the original part. And I'm sure everyone's like, Sydney, do not open the door. But she did anyways. And I remember Aunt Carol, I think it was you that pointed out, she must have had a cold because she is constantly snivel queen over there, looking like she's at an 80s like nightclub, just but she is constantly sniveling. But oh my god. See, Carol, exactly. It can happen. And I guess like she's still mad about her mother's passing, but that takes some major cojones to step outside like that. To the guy's like, hey man, I'm a killer. I'm outside, and she steps outside. The balls on her, and I like balls. Not like that. Not like that. Oh, I love it. Can you see me right now? What am I doing? what am I doing? Hello. Maybe that's why she had that courage. I fucking knew it. Nice try, Randy. And then, oh damn, shit got really just like, oh, like your mama. Do you want to die like your mama? He went to the mama jokes. Oh, and then she strikes back. Kitty's got claws. And how brilliant was this? Him popping out of the closet. Here he goes. Here he goes. Ah! That was so sick. And this is funny though because you can really see the stunt double right here. Not very good work as far as angles. You can't really see her, but this is another kind of odd to a nod to Michael Myers when he does that little head tilt when he's gonna carve up Sydney real quick. And and I think that they said that that's more of a Stu move. The double like this when he does that. They say that that's more of a Stu move. And you can hear it too when he's running up the stairs. It sounds like he's saying easy, easy. I'm not sure if that was intended, but the mind shares what it wants to hear. We saw that foreshadowing earlier with the door, and that's cool because it came to her defense. Fantastic story work. God bless you, Wes Craven. I wish that they would have kept it in the original trailer. Fucking trailers, excuse my language. Straight to Gilbert. The trailer had like, oh, what is your emergency? And then they say killer in the house. I wish they would have kept that in there. That looks so much cooler. And then, oh, the killer's gone. And now Billy pops up. How suspicious. I was on edge the whole time this is freaking happening. Especially, so a couple things here. Cell phone drops. Nowadays, doesn't mean anything. In the late 90s, drug dealers and serial killers had those phones. That's why it was so weird. Then also, the black boots. Those black boots have been on Stu and Billy the whole time, and we get a nice little close-up when that phone drops on them. And then she runs downstairs. I was scared out of my mind. Were you scared? Tell me you weren't scared when she opened that door because You don't know for real if he's the killer, and then excuse me, the way he just the way Dewey gets just a scared. Oh, come on! And that's the beautiful part about this movie. So much tension right there, only to be diffused by Dewey doing that. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Mr. Jose Ortiz, what's up, man? Oh, dude, for the 100th time, that's what I'm saying, Jose. I can watch this movie over and over. You can never get tired of this. And it's wow. You know what's crazy if you notice it too? In all these horror movies, they always have like an orange or red bug. Look at Friday the 13th. I want to say 2 and 3. Oh gosh darn it. I wish I had that list now. But this movie as well. I think in Halloween 2, there was a bug, but Tatum's got the bug that she just showed up in. And yeah, man, here comes Sydney because she's late. And we find out that they are siblings. They're siblings, Miss Tatum and Dewey Riley. Yes, Doofus. I mean, the disrespect on this man the whole time is unreal. Excuse me, fam, for 1 second. 1 second. Little liquid THC here. 1 second. Oh my God, that tastes awful. Now, Gale Weathers again. Jesus, camera, hurry. We really get to see her abuse of Kenny. Poor Kenny, rest in power, King. And we see that Miss Tatum Riley is about that business. That's the best friend we all want to have. And this part, her inspirational quote to Kenny. Look, Kenny, I know that you're about 50 pounds overweight, but when I say move, when I say hurry, please interpret that as move your fat toward us now. Courtney Cox deliberately wanted this role to offset her nice character from Friends. She told the producers, I want to be the bitch. And they're like, we don't think you can. And then you see Kenny getting berated for being a tub of lard. They can't even do that. So mean. Poor Kenny. Now we are at the police station. Again, I always say this. I just said it about maybe 2 minutes ago. Anytime you walk into this movie, it's never a dull point. It's never like, oh, I can fast forward to this or I don't care. I could be visiting a friend and we turn on the TV to this part right now. And I'm like, oh shit, look at the way Billy's mean mugging her. And now we have the whodunit aspect because we have his ugly ass dad, Hank. Really? Well, I mean, Maureen was no Sharon Stone. You know what I mean? But goddamn, we have two ugly people bumping uglies. God damn, that town must be ugly. Doing it till the room stinks. I'm sorry, my imagination went that way. So the sheriff is grilling Billy about, hey man, why do you have a cell phone? Where were you last night? And even Hank is like, hey man, where were you? You went to your girlfriend's house? This whole part is great because soon we are going to start setting up red herrings. This is very important because of the cell phone records and stuff like that. And you just see a darker side of Billy, perhaps. Maybe that's just me and the weed talking. I don't know. But it's motherfucking dark. And he's showing more of that craziness here. And we get more delights of the relationship that is basically represented by Tatum, his sister. Because the way she treats him is basically how the town treats him. Oh, take it back. We get more Gale Weathers trying to be sneaky. Gosh, she is so slimy, dude. Like, is she never? I like that about her. She never changes how slimy she is. Watch your hands, buddy. Do you know who I am? Nice camera work. As if Wes and his crew needed that from me. But still, kudos, man. That was a great shot. And Billy's going to jail. And I just saw it's like a booby hat on Dewey's computer. That makes sense. And now we find about the origins of the mask and the costume, which is apparently pretty common, but this is interesting. If you guys didn't know this about the mask. The mask was found by accident at some house while they're doing scouting locations. They found it by incident. Took some time to find out the original makers. The makers should have made a lot more money, but they're like, yeah, you can use it. They made modifications since then, but they found it by accident. Now, Interesting line when he says that 20 years ago I would have said not a chance. I don't know, man. Evil is always evil, but that's just me. A little commentary there. And here comes Tatum berating poor Dewey. When I wear this badge, you treat me like a man of the law. I'm sorry, Deputy Dewey boy. We're ready to go now. And that wasn't enough. She had to hit him with the janitor's your superior. She cooked his ass. God damn. You can even see, I'm not sure if this is scripted, but you can see he's trying not to laugh. Let's get back to work. Okay, we are at the, God damn, really? Only 36-minute mark. I always say that because the third act is so goddamn long. This principal, sorry, Jose, I'm reading your comment right now, bro. I'm going to press stop real quick. The principal, Henry Winkler, and Wes Hicks from Scream 5 have the same kill setup. Ah, okay. I like that. I'm going to look into that more later. I do like that. You're right. I do, as far as like, I did like that with Wes in part 5 because of the how long they prolonged his death, because you think the killer's going to pop out at some point. I want to see what you're talking about, though. I like that because I kind of see the resemblance. They're in the back door now, the back alley. 36 minutes, 20 seconds in, and here comes Gail. Put your hands in the air if you think that oh no, not even Tate, I'm sorry. Sydney's a bad bitch for knocking out Gail. This is incredible. I wanted to say just Tatum because she's replaying it. Bam, you went down, but I'll send you a copy. Nice shot. No, I mean camera shot. This part's so awesome. She's sitting in her jams after looking like all sultry all day, and she's just now in her PJs with her bunny. She's like, bam, I'll send you a copy. You're so cool. Funny thing about that is like Kenny the cameraman was so nervous about catching Gail because he didn't want to grab her inappropriately. So it was kind of a difficult shot. Again, we have this weird angles with the girls trying to unwind after an eventful day. Sorry, a little bit of drink. Excuse me. Here is some brilliance. Excuse me again. I don't know why Mama Riley isn't screening these telephone calls a little bit better, because Sid gets a phone call, and I guess you wouldn't know what the killer sounds like since, the witnesses are dead. But, oh, no, Sydney should know, but Mom's not going to know, obviously. I'm sorry. This is my monologue that goes in my head. So we have the, hello, Sydney. Billy's in jail, though, that we know and we're led to believe. So we're like, oh, shit. Screens her phone called in jail. Who could be calling Sydney? Brilliant. Now the red herring. The red herring is they're trying to get Dewey out of the room. What's taking Dewey so long? So now we're playing the game of everybody's a suspect. Even our precious Dewey, cute, freaking mouth-breathing dummy. I love him. Got matching mustaches. I guess I mouth breathe sometimes too. But he's, for a little bit, we're like, oh, is he the killer? And it's kind of solidified later on when they show the boots. But him being in the room for so long, we're like, oh, was he making the phone call? Was he just cleaning his room? Yeah, if you know, you know. That town looks cool. Now we see Cotton Weary. Who would have known he would have made it to Scream 3? And we meet Cotton Weary. Excuse me. Good looking dude. Not bad for a little bit of work to get such an impact on the franchise. And now Billy's released. Not enough evidence, and cellular Bill was clean. And now we're all paranoid because we understand a little bit more about technology, but it's not that hard to do. You can buy a burner for crying out loud. But the guys didn't know about all that stuff. If you don't know what a burner is, good for you. But we see Tatum in her outfit, which was an homage to Johnny Depp's outfit before he got diarrhea out of his mattress. She's wearing tan just like he was wearing. And we're back to school. See if they treat Sydney like a fool. But here comes Linda Blair of The Exorcist. She was Regan, and I didn't know it at the time. I think my aunt was like, hey, she's from The Exorcist. I was like, I ain't watching that shit yet. But time to confront Gail about this stuff. She walks over there, and Gail has a nice little shiner. And this part's cool because no, it's not the thrills or the scares, but we're establishing some great stuff here. Linda Blair, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Regan, right in The Exorcist, Linda Blair, yeah, she's the one. The people want to know. They have a right to know. Dewey stops her like mid sentence. We're around the I don't know, 38, 39-minute mark. But yeah, Linda Blair. Unless I'm saying the name incorrectly. But this confrontation between Gail and Sidney is fantastic. And even for a little bit, they slyly made it look like even Kenny the cameraman could be a suspect. So what did you all think when you're watching it for the first time? Did you think it was Billy? Did you think it was somebody else? Did you think there was more than two? I don't think anybody anticipated two killers. I really don't. I really don't. Even when I was talking to people when I was younger, no one, God bless them, gave away the secret, unlike all of these sons of bitches now spoiling everything. But yeah, we didn't know, and what a shock. You never really saw that. And so this interaction is like making Sidney not believe her own story anymore. She's like, oh shit, I think the killer might not be Cotton Weary, especially given that, what you're saying, like his story hasn't changed. He saw somebody leaving, and now all this is happening. Can't believe in coincidences. And we're starting to figure out that the murders are related. Okay. So, very fascinating too, because as we see in the hallway, Matthew Lillard, Stu, is not just looking in the mirror to check himself out, checking himself for bruises from their actions from the past few nights. We see one jokester, which I think, I'm not sure if people talk about it enough, but I think it's pivotal. It's great. And I think it's good for Stu and them to like encourage us so that way chaos is what beat Batman. This is how you beat somebody down. You bring them into chaos left and right, and you see remnants of what you were just attacked with. It's your mother's anniversary once again. And this killer that you just faced is running down the hallway as a joke. You're getting messed with constantly. They're trying to break this girl. But damn, Sidney's a champ, dog. She don't believe in that shit. And I like how this is all parodied later on in the stab version of it with what's his face, Owen Wilson. Whatever. That part. That I guess I fibbed. I guess I don't mind watching that part, but Now this part is crazy in the principal's office because we have the two that were playing jokes. This was foreshadowing that there is two killers. Very subtle, but there it is. Those two guys are to let us know that there's two killers. Also, a little bit more red herring bait that how angry he is in his behavior towards these two students, that perhaps maybe he's lost his mind and he's killing his students. But I don't think anybody really bought that. However, we need more characters to toss into the herring game. Fun though. I love that. I didn't notice that those two students were showing us that there's two killers. Very clever. The bathroom scene. We are at the bathroom scene at 45 minutes in. And this is just wild because those nasty ass girls don't wash their hands. And I mean, kids are teenagers are cruel, man. Everybody's just cruel. But even at that age, goddamn, those are harsh 4 years together. And all that talk right there, more design. I mean, they didn't even know they were part of it, but more to break Sidney. God damn, that girl just put her finger in her mouth after using the bathroom. And those little, they didn't even wash their hands. So gross. In movies, I swear to God, they never wash their hands after using the bathroom. You can forgive Tatum. There are exceptions, I guess. I guess you're right, Dave. You're right. That's why we're friends, bro. But this scene right here is so great. I saw on accident the trailer for this where she was in the bathroom about to get attacked by Ghostface. And I was like so scared. So when I saw it for realsies, I was so goddamn scared. Still scares me. Like if I'm at Harkins and I'm using the bathroom, I you never know when Ghostface could use a fade. You never know. But this part, the way it's so brilliant how you see the boot step down and then the robe trickle down slowly. Ah, brilliant. Inspired by Copycat. If you haven't seen it, unbelievable thriller. But this great scene right here, and again, we are at 47 minutes in. Here. And at first I thought I was losing my mind. But no, for realsies, you hear it later, and that step down, dog. That step down. Yeah, Dave, completely underrated film. I'm going to be doing a review on that probably in November next month. Great movie. But yeah, that bathroom part as well. And Harry Connick, terrified me. But Sid, I'll give it to her. Hell of a slide. And we are using those Dutch angles again. But yeah, that robe drop down is legendary. What do you all think? Was that a prank or was it one of the killers? It had to be a prank. Unless there's a third killer, but had to be a prank. Just there's no way Stu or Billy could have gotten in there. It's got to be a prankster. And okay, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Gail and Dewey talking. But this is where they fell in love, so it is super sweet. As she's, happing him up, talking about his upper torso area. And he was like, I was 24 for a whole year. Oh, you're such a simp. I love you. I know you would have a subscription to like 100 OnlyFans, you son of a bitch. But she weasels some information out, blah, 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 blah. Pretty cool, though. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. And Carol, you are correct. I'm not correct. I'm sorry. I am with you completely. Copycat is amazing. I've got Harry haunted my nightmares for a little bit. Now we have schools canceled and curfews and in play, but Stu's gonna have a party. Stu's gonna have a party. Why not? Everyone thinks it's a good idea once everyone's getting killed to have a party. And yeah, I don't like this. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Now we're at the principal's office. He's trying on his mask a little bit. We are at the 51-minute mark. Sorry, I'm locked in because this part is intense. There's a lot going on here too. So, excuse me. There was a lull in the action here. There was 30 pages in the script of no killing. The Good Weinstein didn't like that. He was like, hey, you need to kill somebody. There was not enough action going on. We have about 30 minutes of nothing. You got to off somebody. So this was the perfect way to make sure your producers are happy and introduce a great way to have later on in the story an excuse to leave the party and isolate the killers and their potential victims. Also, we get to see Wes Craven cosplaying as his character, Freddy Krueger. Great cameo. And we're about to see Henry Winkler's demise. Did anybody expect that? I was pretty shocked by it. And it's like, I don't want to, I hope that never happens to me. And I hope I wouldn't make noises like that. But in such pain, I don't know what would happen. Here's pretty cool, is when he opens the doors in his closet, there's a leather jacket in there. If you didn't notice, there's a leather jacket that the Fonz used to have back in the day. He also did his little hair thing as well. So bunch of Fonz references. And yes, he was killed because of not enough action in the movie. So good call, though, because now we get it to where, hey, we got to disrupt the party, get everybody out of there because they want to go see his body. But that's crazy to think, though, a call like that to be like, hey, we're not getting enough action here. Give us something. And you come up with something creative and beneficial to the story. What a cool shot every time you see Ghostface right there. Now we go to Tatum and Sid. And I don't know, this is all boring right here. I don't care about this part. Even though I did like it because the camera angles look very stalkerish. So I take that back what I just said. If I could, I would put my foot in my mouth, but I'm not that stretchy anymore. Great angles right there to make it look like she's being pursued still. So awesome. But I didn't like this, is that we see him right now. We see Ghostface just, Is that to maybe represent like it's in her head, or is that I always thought was that a third killer? Is that Roman? Is that it couldn't be the other boys that are out and about. So I always wondered about that. And I always wondered about that Richard Gere gerbil story. If you don't know who Richard Gere is, because I'm an old head, he's a famous actor, did a lot of good work. I'm trying to think what he's done. Officer and a Gentleman. Shit. What? Oh, gosh darn it. Look him up. But I guess there's like this rumor about gerbil and his butt. And so that's funny that they reference that. But again, what is Ghostface just doing there in the bushes? One of my all-time favorite scenes coming up at 54 minutes, 43 seconds. They're watching Frankenstein here at the movie store. These were my Friday and Saturday nights, people. I lived this shit. I don't want to be Randy. Well, I mean, I'm old now, but I was Randy here, dude, because like I worked at the video store. I was putting away. I remember the cart going to like the special interest of the horror section and putting away movies like Friday the 13th were lit. Halloween was lit. So seeing that energy in the movie brings back such good memories. They referenced Howling, and it was so cool. Like when I was putting away movies or I was working the register and people talking to me and I get to share my movie knowledge. I feel bad for y'all that haven't experienced a Blockbuster Hollywood video nights. The best. The best. Now, this is incredible. How many of you notice a lot of these things right here where they're talking about motives and who's who? Stu is talking to Randy about, what a poor taste of Billy standing in the horror section. And I hate all those rumors of like, was that one of the moms for, or I forgot who. For Sam, I forgot who. But when they're asking for a motive and Randy's like, he's like, motives are incidental because if you get too complicated, you lose your target audience. Well, if you don't notice that in the background, there's an extra. She hears that and she rolls her eyes and walks away right when he says that. That's another brilliant part that I'm not sure people noticed. There it is. Right here at 55 minutes and 53 seconds. They're talking and a woman in the background hears their conversation. She hears them say these things. You lose your target audience. She shakes her head and walks away. So brilliant. Oh, the nostalgia, baby. Bring back video stores. Bring back video stores. And the unmatched energy of Matthew Lillard. No, I don't at all. Like, oh my God, I couldn't. His energy. It's not just here, it's everywhere. Every movie. Hackers, one of my favorites. Loved him in Hackers. I'm trying. Oh man, what's it called? Without a Paddle. Amazing. SLC Punk, I guess. If they watch Prom Night, they save time. It's a formula to it. A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect. Yes. Great. And now we get Billy. And serial killer. That's right, Dave. That's right. Serial killer. The way he holds him to, what would be your motive? You got both killers right there on your ass. Amazing. And it's funny because unlike his twin niece and nephew later on, who I guess no, maybe not his nephew, but his niece. What's her name in part 5? She gets it completely wrong in part 5. Like she whiffs it. Randy here nails it, and no one listens. He's like, "Hey, the Tad's a red herring. He's gonna end up in the last frame. He's like I said, he's a complete red herring. It's Billy." He was off about Stu, and I like this reference. Did anybody like that movie, The Town That Dreaded Sundown? I like the reference, and I love that title. But I lived in a small town before, and I've seen shops like this, and it's an eerie feeling. The way they framed all of this, makes you so scared to go out. See, okay, and Carol, did you like The Town That Dreaded Sundown? I gotta rewatch it. I think I just saw the remake. I didn't like that one. How meta can you get right here where they're talking about casting for a future movie? And like, I see it's a young Meg Ryan myself, and she's like, with my luck, it's going to be Tori Spelling. And what happens when we see Stab? It's Tori Spelling. Great on Tori Spelling for having a great sense of humor about it, and not being insulted. That part right behind them, I never noticed, kind of looked like in Halloween when Michael Myers drove by Dr. Loomis. I love that part. There's a lot of stuff going on here as well because they're in the grocery store and we see Ghostface. Who is that? Is that Roman? And why would you? I guess if they caught you, you could say it's a joke. But I think with the curfew, they'd probably be busting balls on anybody brave enough to do something stupid like that. Guys are stupid. I know one of my friends would probably have done it. Would have done it. And yeah, we see just Ghostface lurking around. It's just I like it, but it's weird. I'll give it to it because that's just horror movie plot armor. I'll give it that. This 59 minutes, 33 seconds in, we have the chief and deputy. Dewey is talking to his boss, and notice this. I'm going to press play right now, but every time the chief takes a jag of a cigarette, Dewey responds by his ice cream. It's so funny because he's trying to be so sincere and serious, and he just ice cream the whole time. So watch it. Again, I'm going to press play at 59 minutes and 30 seconds now. And every time they're talking, it's just so funny. The other thing coming up is brilliant. The boots. We've been talking about the boots all night. Not knocking them boots, but the boots that the killer has been wearing. We see on Stu and Billy. We saw in the restroom. Now we're going to see more red herring. As could it be Dewey? Because they have the same boots. As soon as we see the cigarette drop, pop, pop, pop. And we are about to hit it right now. The longest third act in horror movie history, I think. It's basically like 47 minutes long, and they have t-shirts. I want to get one of them that says I survived scene 118. Someone check that for me, but I want to say they say I survived scene 118 because that was the third act, basically. So I forgot how long they said it took too, but here we go. I love it. That song that they play, Say a Prayer for the Youth of America. Yeah. Badass. That camera angle, we see the Jeep going up, and the music, and then the cheat. Oh, wait a minute. What bag does he throw out? Even then, though, we see that they're being followed. That littering son of a bitch. Oh, what is that, Lay's? No, that's Lay's. Kind. But top story's there, and what a badass house. That's my dream, is to go there and watch this with like some friends. I know they do tours and rentals, so I want to do that one of these days. Rent it out with all my friends and go over there and watch Scream on the lawn and I don't care. I just want to go there so bad. God damn it, this house. Oh my God. So this house was pretty easy to get to rent because the owners of it had passed and the kids were really like, we don't care. You guys can do whatever. So they got the house basically like stress-free. Honestly, what a cool intro for the third act. Holy shit. We're seeing the party element, but top story and one time is here, okay? Gail and Dewey about to fall in love and then really fucking hate each other. It's another strike shit. But these two about to embark on their love story. It's kind of sweet. But yeah, it sneaks up on her right here. And this is scary. Like the tone has changed again. We're at nighttime. I like how, though, like Scream doesn't give a shit, they'll go at you during the daytime too. So I appreciate that. But the tone changed with that music. As soon as that chief dropped that cigarette butt, tone changed and we're on the clock again. Game time. Scary time. And he's going to check the party out. And, Miss Gail, slick as snot, grabs that hidden camera to win her, what'd she say, her Pulitzer Prize? Kenny, what a right-hand man. You got to love the dude. Poor Kenny. Now, cool fact, too. Kenny's in there eating Cheetos, which I love too. Crunchy, not the other one, not the puffy. But later on, they're eating Cheetos in part 6. Now they're all Fog, Terror Train, Prom Night. I have all of those on my shelf. And Jamie Lee Curtis is in all of them because she's the Scream Queen, according to them. I mean, have you seen Jamie Lee Curtis? Except for it, what's it called? True Lies. Ooh, ooh. But at the party, and I don't know if this was by design, but Tatum gets separated from the herd. She gets separated from, I've talked about this with my daughter, but like with zebras, you need to blend in. The trick is to get them separate. And she got separated from the herd, bro. And Carol, thanks a lot. I was right, huh? Damn, I got to get those shirts. Yeah. I want to get the I Survived Scene 118. Awesome. But I really want to get that because it's fascinating about that bonding that they had for that last part of the movie. Jesus Christ, Matthew Lillard looks so creepy there. But the energy in this whole third act is unreal. They can't find the dad. The dad wasn't checked in, so he's prime suspect number 1. Gail, I'm going to get my money. Weathers is putting her camera right there for her shady-ass work. Well, not shady work. It comes into play later. But now we have Tatum separated. Oh, man. This is some crazy. I love it. You'll see this in like the laughter, like as Ghostface is getting pieced up here. But it is funny. However, this is where the mysticism of the costume begins, where people have that theory that it has magical powers because this is Billy here. You got to know that. Billy gets worked. And I saw this really funny YouTube short where this guy has like tissues in his nose. It's all bloody. His eyes are swollen. He's talking to Sid. Like, because that's what would have happened because Tatum beat his ass pretty good. Oh, I hate because I've been isolated like this before too, where I had to go to the garage for beers and shit. And it is scary because you do say like I'll be right back, and then somebody thinks they're so funny. They think they're so funny locking doors. No more locked doors. And so naturally, she's gonna try to get out through the garage. Be honest with me. First time you saw this, when she turns around, sees Ghostface right there. Did you drop a little pee-pee? Were you a little scared? I did it because I'm brave. First time I probably did. And there is another reference here. I spit on your garage, great movie. And then this is the first time, I think the only time we hear the get up referred to as Ghostface. This is the first time, folks, in Scream 1 that we hear it referred to as Ghostface. 1 hour, 6 minutes, 16 seconds in is the first time we hear Ghostface. Before the costume said, I think Father Death, but the first time we hear it, Ghostface. Tatum puts up a fight, dude. Now, what's funny about this is I know everyone's like, I would not go for that doggy door. I know. It's just good for the horror movie. However, Miss Rose McGowan was so petite, she could slide through the door easily, so they were having troubles with that. Excuse me. So they nailed like some of her clothing to the door, so that way it looked like she was having more of a struggle. Oh, she nailed him right in the balls. Sorry. Now, I get it every time he gets nailed in the nuts. I will never not laugh at a nut shot. And that's a strong-ass door, because, I mean, McGowan, she can't weigh that much. But still, that's a strong-ass door. But I don't know those California ballin' garage doors, so I take that back. Maybe they can. I'm not going to test it. Did Mythbusters do that? Maybe they did. It's crazy in Scream 3, like, if you noticed a lot, how they have the boat in the garage and everything. Again, attention to details, I love. And this is always funny to me because there's a big, disruption going on. I don't know the acoustics of the house, but he just waltzes in nonchalantly, like nothing just happened. The brilliant thing, though, again, at the school, you establish that somebody just could be joking. So I never thought about that. Now, a good friend, Sydney automatically realizes her friend's missing, but here comes Billy. Who noticed that? I'm sure you guys all noticed it when Billy pops up and he's like, to Stu, kind of signaling that the job's done. I will say that the first time I ever saw this movie, I did notice that. I did. I swear to God, I did. And he's like, you guys can go upstairs and talk. Whatever. And I was like, what does that mean? No, I knew what that meant. I knew they were going to go knock the boots. He hit him in the nuts, see? And see, that was normally me at the party. I am Randy. Oh my God. I'm all bitter because, like, the girl I like is getting back with the asshole. I'm like, he's literally a serial killer, girl. I would have treated you right, shouty. Anyways, about Randy, that was just a stupid story I made up. But Randy, poor guy, heartbroken, gonna, go off. Now we got Kenny again. We find out that we have a 30-second delay. And at first, yeah, he's like, oh shit. I was like, what do you mean, oh shit? He's got a good picture. And then I got a delay. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Brilliant writing again, because then it's like, it comes later on. Like, oh my God, 30-second delay. Does Kevin Williamson teach a course on script writing? Because damn it, every time I watch this, I just admire it more and more. Now we see Billy, that little weasel, trying to weasel his way into Final Girl pants. Son of a bitch. But it works. It always does. It's the hair. It's the Johnny Depp look. I wonder how he smells. If he smells like fart and dust, or if he has like cologne to try to mask the BO and nasty fucking ham and cheese sandwich breath, or I don't know. I'm just hating because he's so good looking. Sorry. Where was I? Yeah, they're about to talk or whatever. And yeah, he's making some good points for what he wants to do, I guess. I mean, my kind of guy, I would use references left and right too. I do all the time. Okay, shut up. I'm tired of this shit. Whatever. Come on now. I'm tired of this shit. Hey, that part was a little raunchy when they were like, oh, PG-13. She's like, oh, I got a good point. Whatever. Even though that would totally do it for me if I heard a girl say that. Especially Neff Campbell. Or Skeet Ulrich. But that's that it had. There's a lot, or even a good porno. Okay, I get it. You get to get it on, and I don't. Okay, whatever. Come on, man. There we go. Now, maybe the best part of the film, just because the rules were so, the cultural impact is just amazing. I love this because he said that, not the quiet part, I guess, but he just said it out loud in such a cool fashion that horror nerds and like nerds in general, we love shit like this. For him to get a small spotlight to discuss the talking points, the major talking points of what he loves. What a great scene. She never showed her tits till she went legits. Everything about his like body language. What an actor. And I like how they're watching Halloween, which is a big reference for Kevin Williamson. But I like that Scream 2 paradox of, we'll get into that later. Let's focus on this right here. The rules. You don't know the rules? Okay. Did anybody really know the rules before Randy said it out loud? For number one, you can never have sex. Big no. Big no. I'm a dead man. Love Matthew Lillard. Sex equals death. Okay? You kiss, you get pregnant, you die. You can never drink or do drugs. Why this won't work? Okay, it won't work. That will work. I'm getting another beer. I'll be right back. Okay, for real. Funny thing is that Matthew Lillard says that, I'll be right back. And I think the next time we see him, he's Ghostface with a knife. There's Kenny playing with the Cheetos. And yeah, he's a little bored, but here comes Officer Doofus. I couldn't help but say it. But there's a car in the bushes, and he might want some company. Okay, 1 second, y'all. We'll smoke break. Okay, sorry about that. So Dewey wants to make it a nice little romantic evening. He's got a flashlight out. It's a nice night out. You're not scared, are you? That's a really cool scene and worked great in the trailer. Excuse me. Underrated line right here. Extremely underrated line is it's at the part at 1 hour 15 minutes where he's like, they're walking and he's like, "Do you know what constellation that is?" And she's like, "No, what is it?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know. That's what I was asking you." Oh man, I want to know if that was scripted or not. So people are leaving the party just voluntarily, just leaving, and but people are asking, "Where's Tatum?" And then these two are about to get it on, and we're seeing all the PJ Souls in Halloween. Whatever. Cool part now. The music to match Randy answering the phone. We see Jamie Lee Curtis about to find the killer. We're about to find the killer in the house. So great timing and synchronicity, if you will, with the phone call while he's looking at the screen, and then the news that earlier that 30 pages of no action and Principal Himbley had to be killed comes into play now. What to weave all that in. Amazing work. But now that was the main cause for everyone to leave the party. Great strategy. Now all these wild animals are taken off to go see the principal. I bet the guys that got yelled at in the office were really happy to go see him. Like, yeah, you punk bitch. Who's expelled now, huh? Look at you. Look at your ass. And they are driving recklessly. California drivers, I swear. And here, Dewey's trying to get into his feels. He's saying, "Hey, my name's Dwight, but everyone calls me Dewey because they don't take me serious." And you know what, Dewey? Neither do we. I'm kidding. I love you, dude. Always have. You're my favorite underdog, dog. And see, now I still can't tell if she's cheesing him up for the story, if she really likes him. Never know what she'll do for a story. Thing. I don't know. Another funny part is when they get ran off the road by the teenagers, and she's like, "Is that what you're looking for?" After they kissed a little bit, but is that what you're looking for? She's looking at the car, and he's like, "Oh my life!" Like, I hate it because I was that cheesy before I got my heart broken a bunch of times. I was that sentimental, so seeing that makes me cringe. But I'm like, I remember having a soft heart like that at one point. Before, like, I went to like YG's lyrics, like, bitches ain't shit but hoes and chicks. I'm kidding. I'm still a softie. Like watching the scene now. It is sweet, very sweet. It's funny though because she's like, "Is that what you're looking for?" And he's so sincere. Like, oh, what's the line here? Line. Oh, my whole life. I was right. And oh yeah, good acting, son. Because now we see the car. It's Neil Prescott's car. Who all might have believed that it was him? I never did. But you need a red herring. I remember at one point in some comment section, people were like, "Who's Red Herring?" Like they kind of thought that was a real name. Excuse me. Interesting. Excuse me. Now, Sydney says what we were all thinking. So who'd you call while you were in jail? I mean, that's reasonable. He's like, "Oh yeah, call my dad." She's like, "No, you didn't. The sheriff did." I mean, I think some of us did have that question of maybe he did make the call to mess with her. Now, I kind of fibbed earlier because somebody kind of had slipped up about there being two killers. And I think I kind of already had that notion, but then this threw a wrench in everything because we see Billy get sliced up. That knife is cleaned from his blood. So we're like, I was like, oh shit, is there only one killer? But wonderful display to throw her off, the scent. I don't think she had a scent yet. Oh, she kind of did. Literally right now. I thought that was just sex. But no. She got that post-nut clarity and was like, oh shit, I think I just banged a killer. Oh no. And then I love how he's like, what do I have to prove that I'm not a killer? And you suddenly in the background see something moving. And then we really see Ghostface show up. And right here, with all the action going on, if you got the clever eye, you would say that this person, this Ghostface, knows this house exceptionally well. That's got to be Stu. Like, I would be like, holy shit, I'm trying to run around. How are you here before I am? Do you know this place? I think in real slow motion when I'm in danger, so don't worry. That's my thought process. But, yeah, because she locks the door. She's like, oh, hell yeah, out the way. And then all of a sudden, the fucker just pops up. And you're like, okay, you have to know that you're cheating. You're such a cheater. Oh, but that pumpkin eater got slammed in the face with the door. And if you look at the this room right here, it is dark. It is so dark. She uses the surfboard to cut him off, but look at the ceiling. There's stuff hung up. One of the dolls looks like Casey Becker, if you never noticed that. One of the dolls in the attic area looks like Casey Becker hanging. So check that out again. And again, knowing how to get inside of that room. Inside knowledge, man. Damn, poor Sydney. You know she's not going to die yet because we're too invested at this point. Drew Barrymore, yes, that threw all of us off. But now we're like about 85% sure she's the final girl. That was still scary, though. And that looks like it hurt like hell when she landed on that boat. And then she sees poor Tatum. Damn, dog. You would think that they would want to move the body to not be so suspicious or raise alert to their cause. So I want to ask you all another question too. Pause on this real. Actually, I can go a little bit. Did they want to do it today? Because what if they got their hands on her the previous night before Dewey and them showed up? Just curious. Now, another amazing meta part right here. Jamie Kennedy plays Randy, but he's watching Halloween and he sees Jamie Lee Curtis. Just, wow, what great writing to say that. That's the ultimate meta thing I've ever seen. And to say behind you, Jamie, to yourself, well, that's Stu, because you could tell the two-hand. Definitely Stu right there. Well, obviously, because Billy's playing dead. Doug Gilbert. How come no one corrected me? Come on, man. But we think that Randy is saved. We don't know, because all we hear is Sid screaming. Now, Kenny's so bored he's asleep, so he's not really seeing anything. He wasn't paying attention. Now that 30-second delay comes in, and behind you, kid. Oh shit, and you don't know, and the door's open. Great filmmaking. God damn it, this movie's perfect. And that zoom into the door, fuck, this movie's so good. Another strike, damn it. That 30-second delay, poor Kenny. I didn't notice it the first time watching it, but dude, the way he points at the way out. Come on, meow. Come on, Dave. The way he points at the door to get out, man. He a real one. Barely gets out. That, denim Dan outfit she got on. And I like how Sydney escapes. Because he's like, pounds his fist. Jesus, this third act it's long as fuck, but really doesn't let off the gas until the reveal. And then, thank God for the comic relief, because that tension was insane. But here we go. Dewey's got to check the house. And it's crazy because we have the Halloween movie going in the background while he's checking this house, dude. This house is big. And all we hear is Jamie Lee Curtis screaming. We don't know what happened to Randy. Damn, dude. This is how you make a horror movie. And I'll never be able to make one. I mean, but that's good because I'm not sure if anybody can make a movie this great again. I can't think of one that tops this. I still cannot think of one that tops this. And now we go back to Kale. I'm going to fast forward a little bit just because I do feel bad for Kenny. I do. She almost runs into Sydney, but because of Sydney and Kenny, she crashes. Whatever. This part is fire. Oh my God, this part's so good. And honestly, I get so excited every time I see this movie and this part. Originally, Dewey was supposed to die here. But after screenings, he was too popular. He was brought back. We have the trademark cleaning of the knife again. That knife stays clean. This is so well done, the Jeep part. I love how, yes, we naturally look to the background or the foreground. We pay attention more to the background. The Jeep had us messing with everything because the son of a bitch. She gets in time to lock the doors and he just has the keys taunting her. I'm sorry. The window. This is the window and he's just. And so he's unlocking it with the fob and she's trying to. She gets a phone call or radio somehow, the dispatch. And then, oh my God, that drove me insane. That still scares the pee out of me, seeing the hatch open like that. Oh my God. And then he just pops up. That is wonderful. Oh. Now I always wonder the end game here. Like, are they trying to kill her right here? Or is it to, like, subdue her and then get her inside to reveal that, hey, we hate your mom. Sorry, stupid. Yeah, her mom sucks. I'm going to kill the dad and frame you. And more of those Dutch angles. And the confusion here. The confusion here is wild. We hear Sydney scream. We hear Randy screaming. We hear another scream of Sydney. Stu, where the hell did you come from? And she made the right choice. Ladies, always, F you both. Leave the dudes outside. Right choice. Always leave the dudes outside. Girls, protect yourself first. F those two. And F Billy Loomis, bro. That rat face homo repressed mama's boy. His mom, she's right behind me, isn't she? Anyways. Confusing part, even more confusing, is Billy survived all this. Okay, we are at the 1 hour, 29 minute mark. Here comes Billy boyfriend with a bubble butt about to fall down the stairs. And great acting. That looks like it hurt. I mean, what if he really broke his neck right there? Or like twisted his ankle? Like, oh, my ankle. Shit, now I can't carry on the plan. But the corn syrup in his t-shirt make a convincing story that he got messed up. Randy gets let in and shit. The reveal. We are at 1 hour, 30 minutes. And thank you all for watching with me. Can't thank you enough. Thank you for chilling out with me. I love this movie. And damn, one of these nights, man, when your boy hits it big. Actually, I'm going to pause it real quick. Yeah, when your boy hits it big, I'm going to have a contest or something. And I'm going to take, like, I don't know, a group of like 20 of us to this house. We're going to do the damn thing. I promise when your guy gets big, we're going to do this. Continue the story. Now, Randy's like, hey, man, Stu flipped out. And Billy reveals himself. Pop, pop, pop. Makes Randy suck on that 9mm. He's even referencing Anthony Perkins' Psycho. There's so many references. And one of these days, I got to count out like how many movie references titles there are. Right there, there's two. There's Psycho and Carrie. Funny that he referenced corn syrup because that's what they were actually using for this. And shit, she runs into Stu, and Hello, oh surprise, no. We have two killers. Who honestly thought that? Nowadays, when I'm watching scary movies, because this is my job and this is my world, I'm really good at figuring that out. 13-year-old me couldn't figure this out. I'm not sure if I would have figured it out if this came out nowadays. Excuse me. And just wow, the shift change right here. It's like a little relief now. It's a little relief because the hunt is over. The hunt is over. So there's a little relief here, but now the depravity of the whole thing. Because it's one that's just seriously, he's peer pressure. He's just a sick kid. He's literally a sick kid that just okay, my buddy who's cool, I love him. I'm not sure they might be, together, but I'm easily influenced to do what he wants to do. He didn't know that he had this whole plan because your dad he made had an affair with my mom. So now I'm mad. So I'm gonna kill. Which I don't like that Roman gets all the credit for that shit. I don't like that. That's horse crap, complete shit. I don't like it. But yeah, it's the depravity of this. Like another hurt kid. Now, what do you all think? Do you think that Billy would have killed anyways, and he just used his mother leaving as an excuse, or was that really what snapped him? I don't know. I really don't know on that. What do you all think? Seriously. But anyways, whatever that was, that's his reason. Because mother's no Sharon Stone, so she had to get it. And waited a whole year. The patience of that, a whole year. That's like the patience of John Doe in Seven. That is wild. So I don't like the whole assault thing. I really don't. Like I'm gonna attribute that to like maybe it was just they thought that because Cotton and Marine were there that night together, and then they went and did that. So they're like, oh, assault. I'm hoping that's what happened. Because otherwise, I look at this two in a different light. I really do. That just really, I don't know. That really lingered with me. Ugh. But now they're like, oh, hey, you messed up. Now you got to die. Those are the rules. I use that in so many of my videos. For any of you that watch my videos, God bless you. But you'll notice I love using that line. And now, like again, we're feeling like a come down. There's a nice little like a cool down from what we just encountered. But Matthew Lillard is so intense. It's a scream, baby. He's spitting everywhere. He's growing new veins as we're watching. Like the man is insane. Like yeah, seriously. Like his energy is. I couldn't imagine being on set with that. I wonder if that was natural. If that was on that, same stuff that Sydney was, something about. And here comes the father reveal. Mr. Prescott is wearing the same outfit that same night we saw him. Crazy. So it's just interesting how they're going to try to frame him after he's all beat to shit. I'm sure good forensics are probably, nah, kids, we knew it was you. But what an ending again so far. And they're going to blame it on the movies, which was, for the 90s, yeah, that's a sensitive subject. I am an old head, so they were blaming everything on, excuse me, horror content, stuff of that nature. Marilyn Manson, Limp Bizkit, everything was getting blamed for teen violence. So this was a hot topic, and oh shit, here it comes do it, babe, do it, go, dude. That is. How many of you think you're tough enough to take one? Oh God, I cannot imagine. Seriously, what if you hit a major worker? I don't know why I'm asking questions like this. They're psychopaths. And now, like, now Billy doesn't like the get back. Oh my God, they're just stabbing each other. And like, I was laughing so hard. Like, this was fun to watch. This really diffused the last 20 minutes of just being harassed the whole time. Yeah, and Carol, yeah, he probably was just a deranged kid, just looking for an excuse, and that was it. And like it's so funny if you really watch this part. At 1:35, at 1 hour 35 minutes 45 seconds, he's talking about the sequel, baby. You gotta, and if you hear it, Billy is going to town on him. Stu stabbed him once. Billy is making him a human pincushion. You just hear in the background, and you hear Sydney wincing. You watch Sydney, and you just, ah, ah. He's feeling a little woozy now. Oh my god, which is so surprising when he like has all that probably adrenaline, but he has all that energy to attack Sid, considering he's dying right here. Oh my god. Mm. And now the gun's missing. So once again, initial watch, I'm like, when is this movie going to end? My heart's finally relaxing, but shit, we're going still. He's like, where's the gun? I'm like, okay, who has the goddamn gun? Does the dad have it? And then there's Gail Weathers. The look that Matthew Lillard gives Nev Campbell when she says, I like that ending. And he's like, and looks back. Oh my god, show that look. It's so fun. Yeah, oh my god, he just glares at her. But like everyone's like, oh my god, hell yeah, she got the drop on that fool. Nope. He gives her a nice little Spartan kick because after that delicious neck crank, safety's off. Because of this whole part of Matthew Lillard, yeah, man. I say that constantly. Now I always say man for everything because of that. People think, oh, are you just saying it because, I don't know what. But I say man for everything. Yeah, man, because of him and Corey Feldman, the Lost Boys. Gail Weathers signing off. But Sid's gone, man. The panic on Matthew Lillard's face. Oh, I really just saw that right now. But he's so man. He's so dark. Yeah, seriously, Billy only got stabbed once. He's carved up too. And this is where it's fun now, where Sid has upper hand and she's just in control from the rest of the movie. It's amazing. Guess you just called the police on your motherfucking ass. Can't Billy, you cut me too deep. I think I'm dying. I love saying that for everything, anything minuscule or extreme. And this whole part was really ad-libbed by Matthew Lillard. Should I call the police? Oh man. Peer pressure. I'm far too sensitive. And when Billy throws the phone, it wasn't supposed to slip out of his hand like that and hit Stu. And so his reaction is saying it was ad lib, but they thought it was so funny they kept it in there. So complete accident. Another accident, but a painful one's about to happen. Matthew Lillard just brilliant in this movie. My mom and dad are gonna be so. And you have Billy just insane in the background. Now, Sid's gonna pop out right now and blast Billy with an umbrella. Gosh, stabs his ass. That reaction is real because she missed the pad. She missed the pad and she really stabbed him. And he had like wiring or something in there from open heart surgery from like as a kid or something. So she really that reaction to his pain was real. I get real disturbed thinking about that. My mom would be so mad. So I think okay, got it the first time she stabbed him. That second stab, she nailed his ass. Oh, that makes my stomach churn every time knowing that fact. And I thought, I mean, this is a shock to all. I was like, what the hell's still doing alive? I thought Stu was dead. But she's beating his ass. Another ad lib part is I always had a thing for you, Sid. On the spot by Matthew Lillard. I know I chuckled really nicely after she dropped the TV on his head. He's like, ooh. That house is a mess. Can you imagine Stu's parents coming home from that? I bet they blame Sydney for that. I bet they're like, no, our precious Stu didn't do that. Bailey did it. I bet that's what happened. Bet. And we still have a few surprises. Like, we think we're done. We're not done. Because like, she just stabbed up Billy. Stu's out. Okay. Randy scares her. He admits that he's a virgin. Loser. What a loser. And he gets punched in the face for being a loser. And then Billy gets a painful death right here. Oh, dude. And he still doesn't die, though. But yeah, so right here we can tell like he likes to strangle. And then he gets stabbed in his open wound. Ah! But Gale blasts him right this time. And he's still not out, though. I mean, that's Kevin Williamson. Great trope again to play with because he did it so many times in this. He came back around what? Oh, I guess that's twice. But when when he does that, that was so funny. Because I'm sure all of us would say, like, if that was going to be my last hurrah, I would make it worth it. But it's just funny because incredibly meta by saying, you know, careful. This is where the bad guy comes back for one last scare. We're like, no way. And then he does. And then Sidney drops that fire ass line. Not my movie. Yeah, we know you're a baddie, Sid. We know that. Now this is another fun Easter egg that I like to point out to people. If you didn't know this already, we're ending the movie right now. However, this scene, one last kind of scare. 1 hour, 42 minutes, let's say 40 seconds. When the dad pops out, you can actually see a prop hand coming back out of frame because that hand pushed the dad out for the scene, and then you can see the hand retract back. Excuse me. I love seeing stuff like that in movies. But yeah, you see that. Whoop. Not in my movie. Yeah, man. Sid's dad really went through it. What a night. And seriously, what a long but excellent third act. Act 118, what's up? Movie's ending, but thank all of you so much for chilling with me tonight. We see a Dewey. He lived because, again, the screenings, people were like, hey, bring him back. We like him. This is cool, too. Gale Weathers with the sun coming up, doing the exclusive eyewitness of this amazing breaking story. It all started with the call over 911. Cool. And then we see Ghostface pop up one more time. Again, thank you all for watching this all-time classic. Like, I'm just at a loss for words because I'm going to describe how impactful and wonderful this movie is. Like, I adore this film. I think it's perfect in every way. The music, the dialogue. Seriously, the dialogue, because it's so natural. It's so fun. The scares, just the Dutch angles, the vulnerability. It's just the meta, the self-awareness, the humor, the charm. Gosh darn, that's just a perfect horror movie. Dave, thank you, brother. Jose and Carol, Nicole, everyone, thank you for watching with me. Jesus, yeah, I can go on and on about this movie. I have yet to do a Scream review, and I will save that. I'm saving that until I hit like 10,000 subscribers. When I hit that, then I will drop that one because I love that movie so much that, yeah, when I do that review, it's going to be something special. But again, thank all of you so much for watching with me. Yeah, I didn't drop as much movie trivia as I thought I was going to tonight. I'm going to do another movie a night for this movie just because I did miss out on a lot of the trivia. I wanted to share. I get lost in this movie. I truly get enamored with it, and every time it works its magic, and I get lost in it. Thanks, Aunt Carol. All right. Have a good night. And yeah, everyone, thank you so much. Enjoy spooky season. Thank you all for joining and watching with me. If you haven't, please subscribe. Watch my other videos. Subscribe and like. The likes really help the algorithm. So help a brother out. Share this. Share the other videos. And thank you so much for watching. I can't thank you enough. Dave. All right, meow. Good night, brother. Again, thank you all so much. Have a good night. I'll talk to y'all soon. I am ending this. Adios.